Ecuador is like, again, it was really hot. They're like, oh man, we got to think of a name for this place. Sun's beating down, like shades at a premium.
We're right on the equator.
How about Ecuador? Courtney talking about how Zoom shits the bed. And what's interesting is that's a thing that, Michael had to overcome.
Shitting the bed?
Yeah, his whole shit the bed thing. Like, it's like, it's an inspiring story that you can make it as a public figure, even if you have a known history of like,
shit in the bed.
It's a romance.
I'm not ashamed to talk about it. That's my whole, so for people who don't know,
right.
And, if you haven't seen me on the Today Show or, Kelly Clarkson or whatever talking about it, I developed what's called AOSP, which is adult onset shit panting.
Yeah, that's right.
And most people get it. You get it as a kid. Most people have it when they're a kid and they can't control their bowels. I developed it as an adult.
Yeah.
And it's obviously been a journey. It was very embarrassing in the beginning.
Especially if you had like a romance scene and you're in the bed.
Yeah. Yep.
And you're like, I know it's going to happen here.
Yep.
And everyone laughs.
And it did.
Yeah. I like the way you were like, people are like, where are the adult diapers? And you're like, no. I like that you took a stand. You're like,
because I had to take ownership of it. At a certain point, I had to be like, you know what? I have this, but it doesn't define me.
No.
And the thing that people don't understand about this condition is people think, you're constantly shitting the bed, you're constantly shitting your pants, you're constantly shitting everywhere.
Yeah.
There's got to be some sort of physiological problem. There's something going on with you physiologically. And that's what I thought. Obviously, that's what I thought.
Yeah.
And we ran through the tests, and it turns out that I just really like shitting my pants or shitting the bed or shitting whatever. Like, it's purely voluntary on my part.
The doctors ran like a battery, which it always is, right? It's a battery.
Yeah. If you're going to do it, you have to run the whole battery.
Yeah. They didn't run like 5 tests. They ran a battery test, right? At you to see what was going on. And then, brought you into a room and sat you down, and they were like, there's nothing wrong. There's no like.
Well, there's nothing. No, they said there's nothing wrong physiologically.
Physically, there's no physical proclivity that suggests you would have this condition. Rather, it's a state of mind.
Well, they thought it was a psychological thing too. So we did a battery of psychological tests.
Yeah, because it's got to be a battery.
It's got to be. There's something going on here up in the noodle.
Yeah,
and that took weeks and weeks and weeks. A whole battery, the full battery.
Yeah,
turns out there's nothing wrong with me psychologically, other than, and they can't really say there's that this is wrong per se.
No.
Other than I just really like shitting.
Yeah. Do you say to your kid like that's wrong? Don't release your bowels. Don't evacuate your bowels. You don't.
It's a good way to get sick. You don't release. You're gonna get sick. You're gonna get sepsis or something. I don't know what you're gonna get. It's gonna be bad.
It's gonna be really. You got to do it. And what's great about you is like you're like it's not just that I got to do it. As
I want to do it.
Physical function. I want to do it.
Yeah.
And also, I want to be in the world of entertainment. And you were like, these two things go hand in hand. Why don't people see that?
On more than one occasion on set, it has caused problems, big problems.
Like in what way? Like, because people are...
I'll give you a small example. I have a scene where I'm on a bus and we're just driving from point A to point B.
So this is a movie or a show for the people who aren't in the entertainment world?
Yeah, this is just a TV show. I'm on a bus.
Cameras rolling, filming you in the scene.
Cameras rolling.
You're on a bus.
We do take 1, we do take 2. Director's happy, and now we're gonna turn the cameras around. So I'm in both shots, but in this one I'm more prominent. as they're turning the camera around and setting up the lights, I decided, I'm just going to take a little shit. So I shit my pants.
Yeah.
And
you're still on set on the bus.
Yeah, I'm still on set on the bus, and people are noticing the smell and whatever. That's not the issue. The issue is then I touch it, and then I get it on stuff. I reach into my pants. I get it. There's continuity.
Yeah.
It's a continuity problem.
It doesn't match.
It doesn't match.
They've seen you before, and then they're going to see you.
On the reverse.
The exact same scene from a different angle for the people who are not familiar with the reverse. And suddenly,
now I've got feces on my face.
Shots aren't going to match because you're covered in feces in one angle and not in another, and it won't cut. That editor,
and worse, I refuse to have makeup deal with it, or
that's your thing.
People,
that's your thing. You don't like. You're like, method. What are you going to do? You going to improve this? I don't know how many times on set I've heard you say, "What are you going to do? You're going to improve this?" And you're
and the answer is always yes. The answer is almost always yes. And yet I'm very, very stubborn.
That even though it will improve it, you're not going to receive these improvements
because that's not art.
You're an artist. It's funny. Was that the Carrot Top bus stuff that led you to get that the scene, the Speed movie?
Yeah.
And then
that was exactly it.
And
that's when things took off.
What was it? It was so weird. There was a weird thing. It was like Dennis Hopper, who's the villain, who's not even on the bus with the guy who's like, we can't do this. This is not cool. Like the shitting guy. Like it wasn't Keanu. Everybody loves Keanu's great. He's like, yeah, no, bring the shitting guy. It's cool.
Yeah, no, I owe a lot to Keanu.
And Sandy was fine with it.
Sandy was mezzo with it.
Okay. Yeah.
Sandy's a lady. And I don't mean that in a condescending way or any, I just mean it like she's just a classic lady.
Yeah.
And when you've got the shitting guy on the bus, and by the way, Speed was a long shoot. It's not like we knocked that thing out.
And you were the romantic interest.
Months.
Like you were supposed to, your role was from the Carrot Top bus thing, you catapulted into Speed.
Yes.
The Jan de Bont vehicle.
Yeah.
No pun intended. And you were the romantic lead with Sandy, and she wasn't really known, so she couldn't be like.
No, she wasn't. She couldn't throw her weight around at that point, and again, like because I had learned the continuity lesson.
Right.
I knew, like on day one of Speed, better shit yourself because
let her rip. Let her rip now.
You got to let it rip.
Yeah. Right. Let her rip now. Yeah, and they weren't really ready for that.
No, and Keanu specifically said, bring on the shitting guy. Like, people, I don't know what they thought. I don't know what they were thinking. Like, did they think he was joking? Like, Keanu's a great guy. He's got a good sense of humor, but he's sincere.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he's got a great sense of humor, and also he's really sincere.
Mm-hmm. If Keanu Reeves says, bring on the shitting guy, guess who's going to show up?
The shitting guy.
To this day, Sandy is cordial.
Right.
She's very cordial.
But there's a little tension or conflict or awkwardness.
Yeah, a little awkwardness, I guess.
Hey, how often do you guys run into each other?
It's probably not that much. Maybe a couple times a month.
Yeah.
Maybe a couple times a month. And maybe I'm crazy because this is just my perception of it. I don't feel like it's coming from my end. And again, I'm not trying to make a pun about what's coming out of my end, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, that's low-hanging fruit. That's not for us.
I'm cool with her, but I feel like she has always been a little bit chilly with me. And I think it's because of the shitting.
I think it's because of the first, remember the first couple of days was all like, like the physical, they wanted to get the physical stuff out of the way, the grappling, the kissing, the making out. And maybe she was like, maybe there was a thing where she was like, now I'm all covered in feces because I got to roll around with this character. And maybe that was just not great. Maybe she's just, or maybe, I don't know. Like, I don't want to nobody wants to surmise or.
No, and like I said, it is cordial. I don't want to make it a thing. If she's watching, I love her and I think she's amazing. And she's America's
sweetheart. I think.
Well, it used to be Meg Ryan.
Right.
And then they fired her.
You can fire someone when they're the America's sweetheart?
Yeah, she got fired.
So she got the boot because they felt like, why? Because they felt she graduated to like, no, you're not just sweetheart, you're like a bona fide superstar.
No. She got fired because she lied on her resume.
Oh, and what did she say?
She said she was a college grad. She said she was a Miami Hurricane, and she turns out she wasn't.
I mean, the Canes, the one thing about the Miami Hurricanes is they're always like, and everybody knows this, but like, what's their motto? Truth first, you know? So of all the schools to pick, right?
I know.
All the schools. She could have been Southern Methodist, Southern SMU, where it's like Christian Lie, you know, Christian Lie. Like they're all, you know, there's a whole bunch. Everyone's got their own motto, right? And she picked the one that went truth first. Probably because she thought Miami, that'd be cool.
She thought nobody's going to check.
Sun-kissed.
You know, she's like, what difference does it make if I have a degree to be America's sweetheart? It matters.
Yeah.
It matters. Yeah. It matters a lot.
Yeah.
We got a good one. We got a good one.
I'm revved up.
And I feel like the mention of Miami was maybe even a little apropos. You know,
not
Meg Ryan may have done us a solid.
You know what? Meg Ryan, sweetheart or not, she can do you a solid. And when she does, you got to be grateful because today...
I did Sandy a solid on day one of Speed, and she did not care for it.
Like solid poop?
Yeah, callback.
Yeah, I love those comic callbacks that we do occasionally. Yeah, Mike and Tommy Snacks. This is the show, folks. Like, if you're watching, and now maybe you are watching.
You might be watching. Which is why I brought up Miami. Because today on Mike and Tom Eat Snacks, Fiesta Campesino Plantanitos Plantain Chips. Fiesta Campesino Plantanito Plantain Plantain Chips.
Yeah, I mean, look, you know what's so funny? Meg Ryan, bless her cotton socks. Look what it says on it. Look what it says. For those who are viewers, that's backwards on my cam, but that says sea salt.
Yeah. Pour one out for our salinity expert, America's former sweetheart, Meg Ryan.
Yeah, shout out. Fiesta Campesino.
Now, are you in general a fan of the plantain chip?
I am not.
Really?
Yeah.
I am.
Well, I'll tell you why I'm not a fan of the plantain chip. And, and you know what? I'm going to play it straight. We'll take a look at these, and maybe they're fantastic. Over the bulk of my career as a snackologist, if I have a plantain chip, the first thought I have is, I'll eat this plantain chip. And the second thought I have is, where are the chips?
Ah.
You see?
Right. So for you, you're eating a salty plantain chip, and you're thinking to yourself, this is fine. It's no potato chip.
Correct.
It's no Dorito.
Correct. I had the plantain chip, and I suddenly think, oh, it's a poor replacement to an actual chip, which I would prefer. If I'm going to have a chip, I don't really want it to be plantain. Don't ask me why.
It has something to do with you identify the word chip with something very thin and crispy, and when you get something a little thicker, you're like, what the hell is this?
Yeah, it could be that. It could be stupidity, right? It could be like a lack of ability to adapt or evolve. You know, it could be like a stunted thing where I'm just like, just give me chips. But it's like, there's all sorts of different snacks, and this is one of them. And yet, historically, if I have the plantain chip, I think, like that. I'm like,
I feel that.
But I'm going into this. I'm going to this eyes wide open, right?
Of course you are.
I'm not Tom Cruise, Nicole Kidman, because I'm eyes wide open. I'm like, maybe this is the day. And that would be lovely if it were the day. And I'll tell you why, Magic. I can only expect that the plantain chip, you know, is going to be healthier than the banana chip. I just think the plantain chip has got to have a lead in healthy quality to the banana chip. That's what
I'm going to guess it doesn't. I mean, I don't need to be contrary, but what's the difference between a plantain and a potato? So I'm just looking at the serving size here.
Green plantain right there. Like, plantains are healthy.
Yeah, but so are potatoes. If you just eat a potato, that's healthy.
I don't know. I
feel like corn. You just eat corn, that's healthy.
I feel like a plantain is inherently more healthy than a banana.
Well, okay, so it's got 8 grams of fat. It doesn't have a lot of sodium, so it's got that, and it's got 1 gram of protein, and it seems like it's got about the same amount of calories as a serving of
Here's what
potato
it's saying
chips.
in ingredients. It says in the ingredients, it's like green plantain. So great. So it's the most healthy snack you can have. Vegetable oil. And then it says may contain one or more of the following: sunflower oil, palm oil, soybean oil, sea salt. What that says to me is at the factory, they're like, what do we got? What's handy? Well, we don't have the sunflower. Well, you got this palm oil? No. Soybean? They're like, sure. I mean, what the hell? People don't, just oil is oil. And then they just chuck that in the vat, throw the sea salt in, throw the plantain, mix it all up. There you go.
And I feel like you're indicating that that's a lack of care. Let me turn it around for you for a second. Again,
no,
we
I'm
haven't
just saying
tasted
that seems like a methodology. I don't know. They might be like, hey, we're all friends.
Back in the wilds of Connecticut, where I used to live.
Yeah.
There's a local church. Every fall they had like a big tent sale, a flea market sort of thing. And one of the big features of this tradition was something called stone soup. And the way stone soup works is everybody brings different ingredients. You throw it in the kettle and you make a soup out of it. It's sort of like a potluck turned into a soup. And this was a big hit for years and years and years, the stone soup. I wonder whether the people at Fiesta Campesina aren't also doing a sort of stone soup concept with their oils.
I wonder if it's that. They're like, hey, let's just see what we get. Or it's, as you insinuated, whatever we got.
One flavor enhances the other. It is hot. They're making this stuff in Ecuador, and that's handy, right on the equator. It says right in the name.
Yeah, Ecuador is like, again, it was really hot. They're like, oh man, we got to think of a name for this place. Sun's beating down, like shades at a premium, and they're just like,
we're right on the equator.
How about Ecuador? And then there's a big long pause. Like, equator?
Sounds good.
Well, maybe we don't call it equator. Because they'll mix that with it. Well, how about Ecuador?
Yeah.
There you go.
Ours is what's the guy's name? Henry what? Ford? Well, we'll just call it Ford. What are these states? Well, they're united. Well, we'll go with that. That's fine.
We'll go with the United States.
It worked.
Yeah, it's simple, great. But it's clean, right?
Mm-hmm. It doesn't have the flash and dazzle of Swaziland.
No.
But it works.
Or Croatia, Serbia, or
Croatia, Serbia, yeah.
Even pick Italy, or Greece. We're we're old school. We're Hellenic. We're Greece. There's a lot of there's some powder. I'm trying to think of
Turkmenistan.
Turkmenistan.
Their entire budget went to the name.
Yeah,
their entire budget.
Yeah, they're below the line now.
That's where but they locked up Turkmenistan.
They got Turkmenistan, that. Right?
And that's only going to go up.
Yeah, yeah. So that was money well spent for them.
Yeah, no, that's a long-term investment for those guys.
Yeah.
You want to eat some plantains? I kind of do. I'm getting hungry.
Yeah, sure.
I don't know this company, Fiesta Campesina. I don't know if this is a popular brand in Ecuador. I will note that their slogan is "Que rico sabe," which I think means the rich taste. The rich taste. What a rich taste of plantain. But do I really want to taste the plantain?
I'm not familiar with your game, Fiesta Campesino, but what do I know? I don't know anything. So there is the packaging is a no mess around packaging, right? It's definitely.
I like the packaging.
It's thick and strong. It looks like this is they're gonna stay fresh in there for a long time. The packaging is something we don't always discuss, but this is good. It's normally you open up. Let's pick a Lay's bag of chips, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's it opens up. It's maybe 1/100th of the weight and thickness of this wrapping. This thing is where are we going?
This is industrial. This is industrial wrap, but it tears clean.
Smells good. I love it. I think the packaging's tremendous.
I'll tell you what else I like. I like the blue color.
Also like this, like the plantain on the front. You know, like, and that you can look in and see what's inside, but it's got the. That's also a nice touch, a deft touch by Fiesta Campesina.
I'm going in. I'm taking it. So these plantain chips, if you've never had a plantain, they look like bananas on the outside, but they're more like a potato. They're starchier. And this chip is cut into a disc. It's got nice plantain veining, I'm going to say. And little oil, little salt. Take a bite.
He's going in.
That's not good. That's not good.
Oh, no. You were talking, and I was like, this is going to be the day for me. Not that it won't be. Good. I'm going to play it straight. But mine is sort of shaped a little bit like where's the camera? A half banana, right? Which is perfect. Yeah. Like banana shaped.
Yeah, that's what you want it to look like. Looks great.
Ah, damn it.
Not good, right?
Well, in the sense that it's not good, yeah.
Okay.
I mean,
that is the sense that I meant it when I asked. Now, are they... So here's the next question. Are they actively bad? To me, no. But that's not enough because they're certainly not good.
Here's my concern. Because they're plantanitos, and normally I'm like, I have a plantain chip and I want a potato chip. But in this instance, I find, I'm taking a second bite, I find myself saying, give me more plantain.
Interesting.
There's a familiar salt, and the consistency is not overly... I mean, the thickness is not. Sometimes like you have like I'm trying to think of a Ripple's Ridge. You know, that's a thicker. That's a thicker chip, and it's the same. It's almost the thicknesses are similar. So it's not like sometimes you get a plantain chip and it's like 2 or 3 times this width. No, not in this instance. But you take it, and it's almost there's a suggestion of plantain that needs to be, I feel, ameliorated and accentuated. Just my take.
Here's my take. And that was very thoughtful. Here's my take. Not good. Not good.
But you know what it is? You mean in the not good sense.
That's right. They're just too starchy. You know, that's just the problem with the plantain. You want it to be lighter in some capacity. It's just, you just got to work too hard for it. The potato chip, you think to yourself, well, potatoes are starchy, but geez, they cut those things into nanometers. You know, you basically, the potato chip is just a way to get the oil to stick together. You're just eating oil, which is delicious. The plantain, I feel like I'm eating like yucca or some sort, like a tuber, you know, and it's just, it's not good.
Here's what I wonder, like what batch of oil mine was made with. Like, would it be a little less bland if we, you know, they're like, whatever's handy. You know, they've come out and said, like, it's sunflower, it's palm, it's whatever we got. And I wonder if I got one batch
maybe
where the oil, you know, could have like made a difference in this thing. And my feeling is, nah. Is this like, you can't get enough of this? Like when you're in Ecuador? Like, is it like, how popular is this snack?
I have to assume very popular.
I hope so.
The packaging is confident. This is packaging.
Yeah.
It isn't pulling any punches. They're saying, yeah, you know who we are.
Yeah.
We're Fiesta Campesina Plantanitos.
It's and great packaging.
Great packaging.
We cut out the window of the plantain, you know, the clean writing, the blue and yellow, you know, Fiesta sticking out in red.
Here's how you know it's popular. The packaging, well done, but not trying too hard. There's no crazy cartoon character screaming at you. The lettering is, it's playful, but it's modest. It's not taken up. It's not screaming at you like a cartoon character would be. It's simple. It's nice.
Yeah, it is.
Which tells me these people love plantanitos, probably in Ecuador and maybe in other parts of Central and South America. I don't know. But for me, maybe it's just my gringo taste buds. It's not good.
Well, that's another thing that, you know,
I'm willing to be wrong about this.
Sure. I think you bring up a great point. You know, like, you know, is it a cultural thing where you've grown up a certain way, and you're just like, you just don't have the acumen to like see it for what it's seen as when you get down there to Ecuador. We can only play it straight. We are a product of where we are from. And I always find in the snack game, you just need to be honest, and your first bite tells you what your first bite tells you, and you just have to respect that.
Yeah. And I'm going to do that. I'm just I'm willing to be wrong, but I can't make apologies for my tongue.
No.
I have made apologies for my tongue in the past.
Yeah.
I definitely have.
And what do you mean by that?
It doesn't matter. Mm-hmm. Ratings? It's bothering me a little bit that they call them plantanitos, because that suggests that these are little plantain chips. But in my experience, these plantain chips are exactly the same size as every other plantain chip I've ever had. So it's bothering me a little bit. Probably not enough to deduct.
Could it be also like points. It's like, you're like Michaelito, which is like a sign of affection.
Sure.
Maybe it's that. It's like we love these little guys.
It could be, and I don't know, that Fiesta Campesina is so popular in Ecuador that they just sort of, everybody understood that Plantanito just means Fiesta Campesina. The same way in this country, the word Dorito just means Dorito.
Yeah, we don't know.
We don't know.
We don't have time to delve into, if we did that for every snack, we'd be back at Cheetos, right?
That's right.
We just got to play it straight and make our call and start the conversation. That's what we do. It's not what we're about. What we're about is respect for women. But what we do is we pick the snack, we eat the snack, we re-rate the snack, and then you jump in there and go like right or wrong. Like, it's up to you. Make up your own mind.
So obviously this has been a somewhat delicate snack for us, because I think Tom and I both recognize that this is probably a cultural problem, not necessarily a snack problem, but we gotta play it straight. Plantain, Fiesta Campesina, Plantanitos, plantain chips, sea salt. You're too starchy. I'd rather have any other chip than you, but if I had to, yeah, I could eat it. 3.
Yeah, 4.
See you next week.
See you next week.